Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. Let's do, we did a refresh run and I felt nice about it. Let's do a challenge this time, keep pouring our way through these. It's gonna take some time, but we're getting there. XXXXXXXXL, I don't remember this challenge. B19X, 9C, 6C, let's remind ourselves. Isaac, XXXXXXX, I just put like many X's. All floors are the size of XL floors, but does not combine the floors. Due to the floors being much bigger, it makes important rooms like treasure rooms and shops significantly longer to find. Oh, okay. Well, it's not that bad. It goes all the way to Mom's heart. This seems like completely acceptable as far as like winning a run goes. Let me just turn on cheat engine here so I ensure that we only get good items. And okay, there you go. That was a joke. I've told this story many times, but, you know, it is bizarro world sometimes when you work as, like, someone who makes videos for YouTube. I'm a very simple guy. I don't even edit videos, but there was a time, I guess like 2.5 years ago now, when I had, like, a triple-digit streak going in Isaac, and one dude made a very public post on the Binding of Isaac subreddit that accused me of cheating with something that he thought was proof, and then, I was like, hey, if you actually test it, it's not proof, and you're talking out of your butt. And he was like, okay, well, like, I'm sorry I made a mistake, but I don't see why you're so mad. Well, you know, you kind of called my integrity into question publicly there. Why would I? I'm doing just fine being bad at the game. I don't need to put on airs to make myself look good at a video game. In fact, I think as time goes on, we've come to realize that if I was better at a video game, it might actually, you know, reduce my charm a little bit. I think the Northernlion brand is being very, very clever, but kind of stupid. Not stupid necessarily, but dim-witted might be a better way to describe it. I want the wit cranked up to like 12, and the observance cranked down to like, you know, 4. That's why West of Loathing has been so perfect for us. Although this video, I'm trying to think of... The Isaac backlog's not as long as it has been, because I didn't record any for like 2 weeks, and it felt weird to not be playing any Isaac over the course of like the first half of August. But anyway, hopefully the West of Loathing videos are still running, because that series is a lot of fun. But I think that's why West of Loathing works so well, is that the game is largely on rails and funny. So all I have to do is read somebody else's jokes, and everyone goes, this guy's hilarious! So... very privileged place to be in, and I appreciate that. Alright, 2 spirit hearts. Probably should have saved those for the next floor, but let's be realistic. I'm not gonna intend to do very much backtracking over this challenge. No backtracking that's unnecessary at the very least. So item rooms, of course, are necessary. We'll probably go for that. Item rooms, of course, are necessary, especially in the early game, but we'll see. We finally unlocked Small Rock as well, so it might seem like kind of a minor thing, like track 9 from the Red Hot Chili Peppers 2003 album, By the Way, but it isn't a minor thing like track 9 from the Red Hot Chili Peppers 2003 album, By the Way. It's pretty major, because it means we, you know, one more damage upgrade in the pool. By the Way album. By the Way. Oh, it's from 2002, so that's my bad. And then track listing. Minor thing. Track 14! That's like way down there. Let's go back here. Track 14. Dude, if I may, I'm kind of impressed with myself that I got to track 14 in an album when I was like 14 years old. Well, that's not that. Like, when I was 10... you buy an album, you only listen to the single. We didn't have iTunes back then. You buy the Wild Wild West soundtrack, you listen to track 1, side 1, Wild Wild West, you know? That's what I got the album for. I'm not here to listen to, you know, the symphony when Jim West takes on, you know, General Earwax or whatever the heck his name is. But I guess, you know, I started getting into the album sort of thing as I got into my teenage years. That makes sense. Why, by the way? I don't know. Mostly, like... listening to music back then, you had some inertia. You just put the album on and then go to the other side of the room, and you're like, do I really want to get up and go to the CD player? That seems a little... oh, I gotta rip the CD into Windows Media Player? That's a lot of work. I'm not sure if I'm down for that. We live in a comparative golden age now. I'm still old, though, and I know that this is kind of like an overdone bit, but I downloaded an app on my PC, and it kind of weirded me out, because I thought apps were only on iOS. Like, I thought that on PC we called them, like, executables. So I had to search on my laptop. I have a Google Play Music. Why would just walk into it for a key? I have a Google Play Music subscription, because it's, like, cheap, and also, why would I ever buy Contraband, The Best of Men at Work, for, like, $10, when I could just pay $10 a month and listen to only that exclusively, right? It's like the Photoshop principle. But I wanted to get it on PC because everyone made fun of me for having a Google Play Music Unlimited subscription and then using Spotify, the free web player version, for all my music. When I was, when I'm programming, for example, and then I got Google Play Music, and it was like, do you want to download the Google Play Music app? And I was like, I don't know! That's kind of a crisis for me. If I was using this on my Apple product, I would say yes, but, no, I still have not come forward into the modern age, I suppose. Kate makes fun of me. I don't know how to close applications on the iPad. We've had an iPad. She's had one longer than we have had one, but I've been using this iPad since like 2013, maybe. I don't know how to close anything. I just hit the home button and go back to the main menu, and there's probably like 80 processes open in the background. This is also kind of hilarious because I've built, for a class of mine, I built a game that ran on iPad. In fact, not only did it run on iPad, it only ran on iPad because it was locked to the iPad resolution. It was an iOS development course. So I actually know more about writing an application to run on the iPad than I do about how to, like, do the iPad's version of Alt F4. I'm creating a very strange skill set. I think you might double tap the home button and then, like, slide upwards on things you want to close, but let's be honest, that's pretty advanced. How's the challenge going so far? Honestly, Sissy Longlegs is a really nice item for us to have. We're kind of passively generating some spiders here. It's not 10 out of 10, but with one good deal with the devil, it could be 10 out of 10, and we are taking longer than I would like, but not necessarily longer than I'd expect to do this challenge. This is one of those challenges that I have actually no memory of whatsoever, so I'm pretty sure that it might have been on the easy side, the relatively easy side, the first time we did it. This would have been a great time to get Guppy's head, but I digress. I don't know, there's too many, like, it's the same thing, I know I'm becoming a little older because I blame people other than myself for my problems now. Like, let me give you a thought experiment. You're watching a video on a touchscreen device. How do you make it go from the small video player to full screen? Now, statistically, probably like 75% of you were like, oh, you do like a reverse pinch. You put your fingers, yeah, sure, why not? You want to get nuts? You put your fingers together in the center of the screen and then move them outwards to, like, as if you're doing like a weird snap. And then some of the other people said, no, you tap on the video player and then you click on the arrows and it makes it full screen. I'm okay if both of those work. When only one of them works, I'm like, oh, who's the UX designers of this company? I gotta talk to them because this is outrageous. That, like, it leads to me being made fun of by my wife in an emasculating fashion. We're watching something on YouTube. Maybe Dan Giesling plays PUBG with randoms, for example, and then I want to put the video in full screen, and I'm trying to do the tab, like the pinch to zoom, and then she's laughing and going, that's not how you do it. Then she taps on it, and there's a little video player control. Come on, we should have like a universal standard. And before you go, NL, you want me to hold your hand for you? You want me to hold your pee-pee when you go to the bathroom? First off, who's offering? Secondly, they have, like, ISO standards for writing the freaking date. We need some ISO standards for video player controls. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's like a war crime or something like that, but, you can't get ISO certified as a manufacturing company if you write your dates in, like, the day, month, year format. And you're gonna make fun of me, say it's outrageous that I think video players should have standardized controls. It's like, why not just make it so, oh, on a VCR? Just Google it if you don't know what it is. I'm just joking. You know what it is, presumably. It's not a laser disc. On a VCR, the play button is the triangle to which we're all familiar with. But oh, on the Blu-ray player, no, we don't use that button anymore. We use a big, you know, a green button that says P on it. Oh, why don't you just learn what it is for it? Because we're trying to simplify it, okay? It's kind of like, I always feel like there should be, it's like standardization's important, and I know that sounds boring, because everyone's like, I want to, you know, express myself. I'm expressing with the full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities, because some don't agree with how I do this, but I feel like at least within a country, there should be standardized road signs. I grew up in Ontario, and anytime you tell people about driving, no matter what you say, you're like, I drive by the rules of the road. They go, oh, get off the road, Grandpa. If you go, I speed sometimes, they go, arrest this man. I passed all of my driving tests on my first try. In Ontario, that's probably the norm. But I know in some places it's not. But I just want to give you a feel for the idea that I'm not like the world's worst driver or anything like that. But in Ontario, sometimes you're driving, you come across a flashing green light. What does a flashing green light mean in Ontario? That means on a 3-light traffic light, you have a protected left turn. Which is important, because, oh, that actually worked. You know, some lights don't have that 4th spot, but they want to give you a moment when you can turn left without being worried about traffic that's coming the other way. Otherwise, like, only one car would fit in on each light. Good to know, right? Very important thing to know for the rules of the road. Both Book of Belial and Book of Shadows, very interesting. I think I'm going to go Belial because I could use the damage for now. You know what a green light that flashes in British Columbia means? It means those lights are controlled by pedestrians. So if the pedestrians push a button to cross the road, the light could suddenly change to amber and then to red to give them a chance to cross. That's the kind of thing, I mean, I personal responsibility, for sure. That's the kind of thing, though, I think they should tell you when you cross the border. Should be like, by the way, have you ever driven in British Columbia before? Because green lights that flash here do not mean turn headlong into traffic, the other people to have a red light. It means the light could turn red at any moment. I just don't understand. I get there's only a couple of different modes of input-output on a traffic light, but BC, like, Andrew Horgan, or wait, John Horgan? John Horgan, look, I should know our premier's name, but we did just have an election that ended in a weird fashion. You gotta talk to Kathleen Wynne and get this sorted out. Because that's gonna lead to people getting killed, dude! Especially as more and more people flee British Columbia to head to Ontario because of the fact that the average housing price, I digress. Anyway, so the point is, I hate sauerkraut. That's really what I'm trying to tell you. We're almost done with our second floor here. It is getting a little outrageous. One day, though, we'll be free to do what we want, any old time. It almost feels like we should be fighting Mom at this point, but no, just Little Horn. There he is. This aching little horn keeps on popping, shooting bombs, he's tempting me to use my own, but I won't. Okay, that was like a 2005 era Block Party reference, like even pre-Silent Alarm, but people know who Block Party is. That's a relatively universal, you know, universally recognizable reference, I think, to some extent. All right, we're going to go deep here and be a little risky. We're going to take Guppy's Head for the guaranteed damage output, combined with the Mark for the guaranteed, like, we have extra damage now. Hello, Tomo. Hello, Tomo. Okay. So we got much better damage, and we have Guppy's Paw every single room. 10 out of 10 item in a shop would be hive mind at this point if we could make it happen. I can't believe I've exhausted, like, 2 anecdotes to their fullest, and yet here I am on the 3rd floor out of 8. That's like, we're a quarter of the way through the run. I guess that's why, you know, they call it the blues. No, I guess that's why it's a challenge to begin with. If I had to guess, what does XXXXXXL give you? Maybe like a 1 makes you larger pill? I don't know when those were added, but these are afterbirth challenges. So like, you know, a year or so after the game's release. So as good as our damage is, it's not really good enough to clear these rooms quickly. Because the thing with, that's the problem with everything being XL is that essentially it's not, oh, maybe not then. It's not just that you have bigger floors, it's that the way the floor architecture works, that's more likely to give you bigger rooms as well. Bigger rooms have more enemies, especially if they have enemies that generate other enemies. It can be a dang nightmare to get through it. By the way, whenever I joke about being old, I want to hedge my bets there and say that I know I'm not old, you know? If you were to watch a Pixar movie that chronicled someone's life in a montage, and then, like, I haven't seen the start of Up, but I imagine that the way it goes is that first you meet a young man, and then you see him at different phases of his life that have turned him into the grumpy Gus that you see in front of you today. I would only be at, like, stage 5 of 8, I think. You know, you'd see me as a kid, then you'd see me, like, I don't know, driving my first car or something like that. Then you'd see me going off to college, then you'd see me getting married. I'm in, like, the pre-kid, pre-middle age sort of era of that montage. I'm not even, like, I might be halfway through the montage right now, but I am old enough that the world has changed from, at least a little bit, from my formative years, which is really what I'm using that as shorthand to document, I suppose. Tomo, why are you're looking at me so weirdly, buddy? You think you're old. In cat years, I'm 28. Tomo. I'm not gonna, you know, belabor you with my cat stories, because, like, who wants to hear other people's cat stories? Videos? Absolutely. Stories? Not really. But this Tomo buddy is, like, the neediest cat of all time. It's almost like I feel like we've accomplished what we should have accomplished as pet owners. Because Tomo, when we got him, he was a little standoffish. And then, like, he didn't really like people. He didn't love Ruka that much. And now, like, just by overloading him with attention, he can't live without it now. Which you might see as, like, a sign of weakness, but who cares? It's not like he has to go out in the wild anytime soon. You know, if he ends up living in the wild, we got bigger problems, like what nuclear bomb hit. He's a cat. He's like a, you know, a living ornament. I don't mean that to be insulting. Like, he's his own boy. He can live his own life as well. But, you know, it's not like he needs to have the call of the wild or something like that. Let's grab this. Grab this. Living ornament was probably the... let's reroll as well. Living ornament was probably the wrong word. To be honest with you, I do not like the broken modem. I think that it is basically... It throws off our equilibrium, and it's not good enough to justify putting us on the back foot like that. But yeah, now Tomo, he wants pets all the time, and he's such a little cutie. You've become properly socialized, haven't you? More or less. More or less. Okay. So the run's going okay. We actually should probably take the Emperor card. Could save us a lot of annoyance, would be the way that I would describe it. Because, I mean, this is really one where patience is the name of the game, I think. If we play our game, it's just Isaac with more rooms. Like, we know how to play Isaac. The only thing that could really get up our butts and kill us, which is a very weird turn of phrase there, is if we get impatient and start to make mistakes that we shouldn't make. We probably, if I'm leveling with you, bad idea to take anti-grav, but here we are. Okay, grab these. Throw a bomb down here. Normally, like on an average run, couldn't give two shakes of a Tomo's tail about trading 2 bombs for 4 bombs, but on a run like this, I think those kind of transactions can impact our quality of life, especially because rooms with portals or spider generators can slob my knob as far as I'm concerned. We can throw a bomb down and take them out in a reasonable length of time as opposed to, you know, struggling with it. Absolutely. Sign me up. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. I can't... I know that this is getting, like, a little... I know you've said this before, but I can't believe we're on the 3rd floor of the game. It shouldn't call it XXXXL. They should call it XXXX SLOW. This is extra slow. Yeah, we can take it. We're probably not too interested in playing a blood bank, and it's an it's an odd numbered floor to begin with, so we can't play a blood bank. Sure, yeah, dude, tiny planet, why not? So anti-grav tiny planet, huh? That's what we've chosen to do to ourselves on this challenge. Well, so be it. Is this a Nova Scotian grocery store? Because so be it. Sobeys is a... It's not just Nova Scotian, but it does exist in Nova Scotia, so... I actually, for what it's worth, think this is better. Two hearts, not meaningful. And I think it's better because it gives us... a better ability to hit enemies versus anti-grav, because even when we miss, they get a second chance at coming around here. Now, I'd rather just, like, shoot and aim at them directly, but anti-grav by itself eliminates that ability, so we're kind of stuck with what we got here. But I got faith we're going to make it through this. We spent a lot of HP on the last floor, but we're not taking very much damage. The HP that we spent was spent productively, so what am I complaining about? Come on, come on. Take him out. Finally, okay, so we have found our boss room, we found our item room, we found our shop. Hopefully things start to move pretty quickly on the next floor, because another ideal shop item, by the way, before I get distracted, would be any kind of mapping to save us some of these rooms, not just to speed up the run, but to minimize the amount of combat we have to get into before we get super strong. Like, maximize the concentration of good rooms. You want to leave now? I thought you wanted more attention. So we'll use strength right here. Hope for a deal with the devil, but don't anticipate one necessarily. We're actually dealing like a decent amount of damage with the strength card going here. Just make sure you're releasing the shots in time for them to actually hit, because the shot speed is pretty slow right now. There you are. I think that'll do it. We got super lucky. Speed upgrade is whatever, but the deal with the devil, for a guppy item in particular, is strong. Hopefully we can manage to snag this last guppy item. Probably not on the next floor, but hey, you know, big floor, a lot of opportunities. And we got another spirit heart, which is also very valuable. But now, this is where things might start to pop off. So you grab the hermit card, you come down here. We got 44 cents. You pop the hermit card and hope to not fight greed, please. Okay, I kind of like it. I think it's worth getting the potato peeler, because a single orbital can also deal a lot of damage. Certainly, I would say Humbling Bundle is probably worth it, which you might have expected based on the fact that I just bought it. There's options is tempting, but I kind of want to go for something a little greater, because, and immediately useful in the form of blank card, because we can't take advantage. Okay, I do think 9 volt is kind of like a nice compromise here. Oh, and our item room is right there. But I am, hoping still to maybe come across mapping in there somehow. Piggy bank is not amazing, of course, but it does exist. Let's work our way in the opposite direction, if possible, from the origin point of this floor, and maybe we'll get lucky and find a way to finish this off. But as is, I'm okay with what we've gotten from this floor. I do sort of wish we'd gotten a little more immediate use out of the shop, but hey, Humbling Bundle is not bad, certainly. And 9 volt, not incredibly useful on probably our average room, but if we ever end up replacing Guppy's head, there's a decent chance it ends up being pretty great for us. So we got a double key room. Would I re-roll my whole run? At some point, why not, right? We might as well take him up on the offer here. We're not going to have that opportunity just yet, though. Justice. Got a spirit heart out of it, which is actually very nice. And then a death card. We should go for it. I don't expect it to be good, but we gotta take every opportunity here. That's quite a lot of money, which is maybe like the ideal get there. Okay, don't just throw stuff away. Dude, this has me itching for like real damage upgrades, because we're doing a lot better with this Empress card. I don't want to run away with it right now like a Song by the Far Side, but at the same time, I'm missing this damage potential, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to that point in the future. Magician. Not bad, but I think the death card's a little bit more potent, because hopefully we can just walk into this room and kill it dead. Lucky us. 2 extra bombs. I saw it coming, but I didn't turn away fast enough. We gotta check this for like an Emperor card. Not necessarily bad, honestly, but not what we're looking for. God, you got me focused too much on strategy now. This probably will blow this up. Yeah, it's gone forever now. It's Moving Box, which I think is horrible, more or less. And Retrovision, which is not worth anything. And then Moving Box is also not worth anything, so we'll just move along. In a way, this is the most challenging of all the challenges. Because I find myself, I'm not fighting the game anymore. You know, when you're fighting an obstacle, you kind of have a chip on your shoulder and you go, I'm going to beat this obstacle. This obstacle's not better than me. On this one, I have to beat my own brain. I have to continually remind myself, and not just remind myself, but put it into action that we need to, you know, play smarter, which is not always easy. You know, knowing the right decision and making the right decision are not always one and the same. You know, we all know Flamin' Hot Cheetos, not great for us. Do we eat them? Yeah, many of us do, myself included. I don't eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but that's only because they don't have them in Canada. I have had them once in the United States of America. Did it open my eyes? I mean, to some extent. I was like, these are good. I wouldn't say it's a life-changing experience, but it did change my life. I'm just saying for your lives, maybe not quite as much. Okay, so let's go in here. Guppy, please. No Guppy. Moon card. Takes us to the secret room up here. We don't really need any more money, is my guess, so we'll save our bombs instead. I do want that Hermit card. The key is meaningless, but being able to potentially skip, like, 20 rooms is extremely meaningful. Have there always been this many enemies that take forever to kill in Isaac? Or is it just because of this run is so dang long? Well, we don't really want to go that way, probably. Instead, we'll go this way. Alright. Joker card would be amazing. Ace of Clubs. Less amazing. Hanged Man. Well, that's just perfect timing. Well, I'm still holding out hope. Not necessarily that the run pops off, but that my own brain avoids self-sabotage here. Because the only thing worse than, you know, doing this challenge once would be doing it twice. You know what I mean? You know, I should put on the facade of like, oh, what an interesting challenge. But mostly I just find myself annoyed, dude. Give me head trauma over this. You know, you can waste my life force, but once you start asking me to clear a bunch of rooms willy-nilly like, I'm gonna have a problem. So our Hermit Gambit obviously did not work out 100%. We find ourselves still searching pretty much every room on this floor. I think we should go left. Imagine that left is west. They always tell you, go west, young man. And by they, I mean like fictionalized versions of your parents from a movie that takes place around the turn of the 20th century. Which I think accurately describes most people watching this, if I had to guess. The The dodges are... I wish we didn't have to... Oh, okay. I know I didn't finish the sentence. That's because I had nothing to finish. I'm just waiting for the magic mush. I'm waiting for the small rock. I'm waiting for the day when they're going to throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. Secret room. Little surprised, but dude, that's like enough HP to carry us for a few floors here. Okay, we got high hopes. This is Caves 2. Caves 2 are gonna be the caves, and the caves, you know, the caves are 2. XL is putting us through hell, and the caves, you know, they're caves 2. I don't believe the caves are caves 2. Caves 2, caves 2, caves are caves are 2. Okay, thank you. And all the caves behind you are basements. Okay, I'm gonna not. First off, don't want to get sued. Secondly, not a good joke. Thirdly, we're about to be guppy, so we have to stop complaining. Oh, has he done it? He has not done it, but he did get Death's Touch, which I don't know why I said it like that. Borderline insensitive, but on the other hand, great item, especially with Tiny Planet. Maybe not especially, but Tiny Planet is especially lucky to have it, I guess I should say. At this point, we might as well, like, pay 5 cents for 3 flies. A luck upgrade bothers me about 0%. And dude, we're so lucky again, at least in terms of the speed of which, or the rate at which we can find these item rooms. The item room itself, not quite 10 out of 10, in case that's not, pardon me, abundantly clear. But on the other hand, here we are. So, this is Depths 1. Nowhere to hide, baby. Nowhere to run. After the Caves 2, it's the Depths 1. Depths 1. That's Love Gun by Kiss. Dude, I'm sorry, but on a run where we spend so much time in a holding pattern like this, my brain starts to wander. Which might not be a healthy habit for survival on this run, but is pretty healthy for keeping my morale at a level that's like above 0, because, you know, I don't want to be the first element in an array in a C-based language. Sure, we're not going to play a blood bank. It's the same principle as last time. We just have no reason to. In fact, we have an incentive not to, rather, would be a apt way to describe it. I don't mind fighting Pride, because, oh, I mean, we shouldn't just walk into him, but if we had gotten... Yeah, Stars card is very useful. If we had gotten the Anarchist Cookbook, then we would have Bookworm right now, which, again, it adds up, is what the politest thing I can really muster about that. It's probably not going to change the game at this point, too much at least, but anything that allows me to get through enemies at a slightly increased speed is fine by me. I will use 2 keys to get 4 bombs, because, again, the bombs are kind of like a precious ability for us to short-circuit some of these enemies we don't really want to face. Yeah, absolutely. So we're still kind of on the razor's edge here. Like, if I could give the run credit for something, at least it's a run in which we've... managed to stay kind of, like, tense. Which I think is good for... Oh, just ricocheted off the wall. It's kind of good for entertainment purposes. Now, a lot of that tension is, I wouldn't say manufactured, but just bad. Like, there is no reason for me to walk into enemies as often as I have, except for a lingering kind of frustration and existential ennui because of the fact that I can't hit enemies with our tears, despite, you know, very much wanting to. We are getting through them a little bit faster than we used to, though, thanks mostly to Death's Touch, and by mostly I mean entirely. But at least this wasn't one where, like, hey, you have no chance to lose, but you also have no damage. So the run's gonna take 20 years, but you're never gonna actually feel like you're powerful. You know, you're still... Okay, now you're being an idiot right now. Taking a little bit of damage is a luxury that I'll afford you because you've played this game a lot and you know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Well, you want to know? You want to know what happened there? I thought, because I forgot that I was holding the Empress card. But I was not holding the Empress card. Instead, I was holding a very valuable card, the Stars, which we could have used on our next floor. But you know what? Maybe this is the rock bottom that supposedly you have to hit to get better. Now I'll stop using my orbital for all of my damage. I'll focus on dodging. And we'll, you know, it's up to us at this point to remake our lives. I want that card back, though, because it's, like, really good. I'm looking for a second secret room at the present moment. Because even though it's a prodigious use of bombs, second secret room would be real nice, but you know what? Unnecessary as well. Alright, so we've spent like 8 bombs and we got nothing at all. A little bit of a bummer. But you know what? I'm hopeful we'll beat the odds, get yet another deal with the devil, and this one will be Abaddon, which is just, like, universally great for us right now. And I even remember the name of the item. Please. Let's go. No deal with the devil. We get Gish. We can make this. We can make it better. That's what Kanye West said, and those are the rules by which I've chosen to live my life. Curse of the Unknown. That's alright. We got 1.5 HP. We can... I can count that. Did you hear this cat in the background? I'm sorry! Let me back in! Okay, fine. Hello, Tomo. Hello, Tomo. You want to be my good luck charm? How many Isaac episodes have you done since I've been gone? 20? Nope, this is the first one, buddy. We're still on episode 1. Side 1, track 1. You have a... What is it, buddy? Well, you just came in, jumped up, and then now you want to leave again. Maybe he doesn't want to come in, he wants me to go out. That might be the secret there. Dude, no. I don't want to actually see if that's a bomb, because it could be a live bomb, which might prevent me from getting a payout here. The devil. Fine card. Okay, that was scary. For all that, we got a devil card and black bean. You might think I'm disappointed. You would be correct. It's not that bad, but certainly not that great either. 2 Spirit Hearts might even be a better play than Small Rock at this point. Hey, Tomo, don't go back there. My Tomo friend. Come on, just one guppy item. Health up, there we go. Full health, they even got it filled up, that's nice. Okay, pin is gonna be here, several pins. They will be destroyed thusly. They can't stand up to much scrutiny, like... Death's Touch tears pin apart. I think it's the first time I've been hit on this room in like a year and a half. Might as well. Okay, so again, I think it is sensible, although kind of annoying, to use a bomb to get access to more bombs. And we're gonna have to use 2 bombs, because I'm a silly boy. Man, what a challenge. This is actually the first challenge out of all the ones we've done where I'm like, I never want to see this one again as long as I live. I think if you get the right setup for this, like if you get any kind of mapping, you're like, I'm fine. But if you find yourself in this position, where you're like fairly strong, but just taking forever, it's just a bad roll. Also, none of our skulls pay out with anything useful anymore. It's just mushies. I see you down there, Tomo. You can't go down there. Here comes the sun, a doo-doo-doo-doo. So I think we hold the sun card, use it on the womb 1 to make sure we make it through that floor a little faster. No. Well, actually, it gets us closer to stomping things, which is at least interesting. Saves us the bombs from trying to blow up skulls if we can make it happen early enough. I don't know how I got out of the way of that one. Yes, Tomo? Do you have anything to say to the people of YouTube? Tomo. The one time he does a meow, right? Was when I go for the call and response. Making me look like a dang fool. I'm trying. I'm giving him the Tomo eyes. Tomo. Tomo. It's not like we're gonna miss boss rush. Take some time to talk to my son. Jesus Christ. You're killing me here with these, like, no skull payouts. Alright, thank you. Thank you. Last time to make plans. Well, let's keep moving. Alright, buddy, you can leave, but if you want to be let back in, I'll do it, but I'm gonna be, like, mildly upset. He's a Tomo. Born under punches. Please. Oh my god. Can that we need like a range upgrade. We're not extending our sights enough. Oh, that's a double tinted rock, which means I actually cannot access it at the present moment. But that should give us like it literally cannot give us small rock. So it must be giving us some spirit hearts. I hate you. I'm actually, like, furious. This is as furious as I get. I am so mad right now. Okay, that time he's dead, so all we gotta do is walk. I don't know if we can afford to go into the curse room. I would actually rather be called like a low T beta garbage man than go into the room, contribute to our death, and then have to do this god awful challenge ever again. So, especially having been hit a couple of times. We still gotta beat Mom. Mom's no joke, dude. Okay, now I'm actually quite frightened. But we must have had some spirit hearts, because we're still not using our red hearts. But we might be on one red heart, which puts us in, like, lethal range from one enemy if things go wrong. We don't need any of this. They can't even be luck upgrades. Please. I just walked right into that. Oh. It's all falling apart. Oh! SMB Superfan. It's an all stats upgrade. We have HP now. We have to, then. We have to at least check the curse room. I don't love the idea of doing it. And now I, like, particularly hate the idea of doing it, but... the lowest we could be at now is one red heart, so just come back. Okay, we did need that. So I think we're at... I think we're now at 2 full red hearts, which is really low. That is not a lot of value here. Please give me 2 bombs. I would like to access... Is that a shop? Is that our shop? Imagine how much different this run might look if I hadn't stupidly used that card on the last floor for no reason at all. This is big. No greed. Spirit heart. Battery charge. Sure. Why? Do we benefit at all from Box of trinkets. Suppose we should use it. We're not doing anything else with the money. Lebowski. So let's see what we can get. No, not really worth it. Probably should have generated a second trinket instead of 2 more flies with Guppy's head, but it's kind of ancient history at this point. As is the start of this run. Well, we're probably not getting to deal with the devil on this floor now. But I think we have a pretty simple finish. All we need to do, right now at least, beat this without dying. I'll take damage and be okay with it, but we can't die. Then you pop the sun on the first room of the Womb 1. It tells you where to go. You go there. Thank you for the 2 spirit hearts. You go there, and like life is but a dream, right? We've only got 2 more floors to go.
The sun.
We are going the right way. Do you hear that there is a Tomo boy at the door? He wishes to be let in. I'm sorry, Tomo. It's crunch time now. This room is not in a good place for me right now. You know what? You got 2 bombs. We're never coming back this way. We gotta check on this. I didn't realize we had 3 hearts, actually, by the way. We could have figured that out, because now that I think back, we were unable to get to the boss trap room, which means that we must have had at least 2 hearts at that point. Luckfoot. Probably not super meaningful, but tower. Kind of like a last-ditch card we could use to maybe hurt Mom's heart if we were in a pinch. It's actually fine. Getting through this floor in like a sensible amount of time is quite nice. We also have a 100% chance of a deal with the devil. Okay, shouldn't have walked into him, but and then we... Oh, I am an actual moron, man. No, now's not the time, Tomo. Don't use the tower. I find myself, like, hovering over the Q key, like using the tower is a smart idea. It's not a smart idea. It's a very bad idea. You did fine there. Just let that be your, like, defining element here. Sure, we could take all of these, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take a Thame, because it could help us get some HP back. The moon card is a teleport, which could help a little bit. What's our other card? The tower, of course. Okay, well, let's go for it. I don't think I care about the duct tape right now. Instead, moon me up, Buttercup baby.
The moon.
This will be a great time for health upgrade, or... Oh my lord. Magic Mush? Tomo, what is it, buddy? You're so, like, attention-starved right now. No. No. Don't let him trick you, okay? He sounds like he's in misery. He's not in misery. He just knows this is the best way to get pets, is to meow like that. Oh my god, he's losing his mind. Tinted rocks. This is a tinted rock paradise. Sadly, we have none. We're still, like, very, very far from being out of the woods. I am a scared boy right now. He has actually done it. Don't even start with me, by the way, if, oh, he got carried by Guppy. It's a 45-minute run to get to the Womb 2. Ain't no one getting carried this late in the game. First things first, this is the realist. You excited, Tomo? We're gonna beat the challenge, and by we, I mean me. Like, you didn't really have any positive or negative influence on it one way or the other. We can fly, that's right. Tinted? No tinted. I like the way your room looks, but there's no tinted. You gotta help me out. Cricket's head. I almost walked right into that. That would have been, well, foolhardy. Let's not be too hard on ourselves. Lemon Party, actually a very good pill. For our offensive-minded purposes right now. I think we're gonna coast this one into the finish, but dude, this was not a great reminder of what the best the challenges have to offer is. This was like kind of a little bit not that good. Required a little bit more sustained focus than I like, but I'm not complaining too hard, you know. It's a one and done. Once you finish it, it's gone forever. Dude, Locust of Famine. Long time no see. Like a TV show starring Misha Barton and Rachel Bilson. Please. You can't give me a dead end. I've just gone through like 15 rooms. I'm sorry, it's actually against the Geneva Convention for you to give me a dead end here. Hey, Tomo. You can't be on the computer, buddy, because you're being a silly boy. And Ruka stepped on the computer during the Battlegrounds recordings. It made me a very unhappy individual. This is like a new record for cat interruptions. By the way, I recognize there are some people, they watch these videos and go, why doesn't he kick the cats out of the room when he records? Because it adds to the entertainment, okay? In my opinion, at least. Well, you're watching videos of a grown adult man playing a video game. Like, you want me to kick my son out of the room? I'm already wasting, you know, the prime years of my life playing this dang XXXL challenge. Okay, we've pulled ourselves out of what was temporarily like a bit of a spooky situation in there, but here we are. Generating flies. Bombs are relatively irrelevant. Finally. Please. Justice. No spirit heart. But, you know, it's the thought that counts. There's every time we enter a room with like 4 rooms coming off of it, I'm just like, oh good, a new floor. Like this could actually go on forever. I'm begging you for freedom and mercy from this challenge. Why not make an XXXXXXXXXL challenge where every floor is twice as large as they are in the XXL challenge, you know? As long as we're approaching ridiculousness. Might as well take it to its illogical conclusion, right? Come on. Come on. Finally! Okay, it's the final room. This could still go wrong. If it does, I really do have no one to blame but myself, but that's probably not gonna stop me. I don't think that even hits Mom's heart, but you gotta check. He's done it! No, escape. This is it, dude. You made it. You earned it. Get the heck out of there. We got gold hearts. Hey, those are pretty good. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.